Okay. Next attempt to explain what I'm going through right now. I think the title also brings like an obvious statement, but I think I should explain myself like I always think I should do. The fact is, I made like 1 month ago, 2 months ago, I don't know, kind of almost 2 months ago, video trying to come out as telling you that I'm trans. But I still didn't have clear explanations as to why and what I will do in the future and stuff. I was just talking about my other problems because my life is always a mess, and we already know that, and it kind of tangles in with everything else. So maybe being trans has subconsciously brought me to a few problems that I never realized that were caused by that. Or maybe I have so much problems that I think I'm trans, I don't know. But so far I still have the same kind of idea that I'm a guy, and it's been going on for, like I said, almost 2 months, like fully, that I'm trans, that I'm aware of it. I think that's a start. Knowing that is maybe not a psychosis. If it were psychosis, I think people would already seen it, because I've been to a place for people that have psychosis, and they said I don't have it. I wasn't diagnosed with one so far, so they said that you're not welcome. So I left. Of course, I had no choice. But if it is a psychosis, then I caused a lot of confusion, probably because I said that I wanted to have a different name, and I said I might want to take hormones, that I want to be viewed as a guy. And let's be clear, I grew up in a quite gender neutral home. Like, my parents were not really like mostly my mom. She was just like, hey, you're a kid, you just have to be tough and strong, and you just gotta listen to me, and I don't care if you wear a skirt or a shorts, you just gotta be like respectful and stuff. So my mom also wore boys' clothes sometimes for fun and stuff. I was like, oh, hey. I mean, as a kid you just go play on the playground and stuff. But I just realized that at a young age I already had these strange differences that either just was part of my personality generally, or was probably part of my brain kind of telling me that I am by nature a guy. I don't know what's going on. As a kid you don't really know what gender roles are, so like I said, I wasn't grown up in a way that I had to be a particular gender necessarily mentally. Physically I just was doing my thing. Sometimes I did things that I wouldn't like. I have this body, but sometimes I did things that didn't really reside with the way my body functioned, I think. Because I was experimental as a kid already in few parts, and I was like, okay, so that happened. Kind of feel ashamed of it, but maybe it is a good thing. Yeah, anyway, early on I already felt dominance, and I wanted to have an adventure in my life, and because of my childhood wasn't that nice, because my mom did have some problems when she was taking care of me all by herself. She went through a lot. I mean, I also kind of went through a lot, and now it's not really changed in a way. Even though I live on my own, I have other problems that I have to take care of now all by myself. But like I said, it's not about that specifically. It's just about telling you that being transgender simply means that your brains are not synchronized with your body. I know not everybody is fully just female, fully not male. I mean, that's all gender roles. It's all about like physical stuff, about your genitals and stuff. So basically what it comes to mostly, and sometimes it might scare me and other transgenders when they gotta think about this, is about the fact that if you think you're born in the wrong body, that you should only view your dysphoria. I'll explain what dysphoria is in a bit. Like, you'll have to base your dysphoria only about reproduction or something, because that's basically how it is, if I have to be harsh about how nature works. So it's all just about, hey, I'm the male, and I'm supposed to protect the, I don't know, the spouse or something. That's just how it's kind of started in the prehistoric times and stuff. You have genitals, you have to use them. I mean, your body works in a way that is sometimes beneficial. I mean, let's just take the difference that if I'm a guy, I'm gonna say I don't want to have carry a child. I mean, generally I don't want children. I really suck at taking care of children. But like I wouldn't want to bear a child anyway either, and I wouldn't want to have my chest area to develop things whenever I am ready to have a child. Like, you know, monthly problems. Nobody likes them, of course, but for transgender it gets extra terrible because a woman knows that she needs it to know that she's healthy for having a child one day. But for a guy that has it, it's like, I don't need this, it's healthy. To me, I'm scared that it would turn out something bad, but that's generally, I'm gonna tell you that in a bit why. I'm speaking of the fact that a guy isn't supposed to have a spirit. He has to be healthy in a way, or active and strong 24/7 to protect his family. A guy has his seeds, and it functions. He has to take care of his body, and if you're a man and you have to take care of a body or something that you don't know what to do with it, you're often gonna neglect it, or you're gonna try to force it as in ways that you think that, hey, think that's the best way to do it, and that's just before you figure out that you're trans. Basically, when you do, you're like, hey, I'm really in the wrong body, and I should just be able to change it. But in the prehistoric times and in the Middle Ages, you couldn't do that, or you got killed and stuff. So what basically happened was, you think you were stuck in your body, you forced yourself, like with ace bandages, you put a sock in your pants, I think, and that's the most thing you could do, and try to act manly in front of your wife, and that she has to be convinced that you're a guy all the time. Like, that would be very tough. But for us, it's like 2018 and we still live in the same fear. And why is it? Because of gender roles. But I think even before gender roles, dysphoria exists because that's, like I said, reproduction systems. If you think that you're not just there to carry a child and get, you know, like that, all that stuff, that's just preference, but just generally, like, you don't want to be that person, like just that embodiment. It's like, it is a mental disorder. Being transgender is a mental disorder, but this is gonna be a really long video actually. It is a mental disorder because your mind says that it's just not how you feel and not how you act and stuff. It's like depression and people that have split personalities and all. That's all. It's a mental disorder, and it can get cured. However, it is proven that it can only be cured with getting us to the body that we want to feel good in, or the mindset where we want to feel good in. And since being transgender is not about fixing your mindset, but more about fixing your body to fix your mindset, it's just different from antidepressants. And that's why I don't like to take chemicals like antidepressants, because I'm really scared. I hate surgeries, I hate hospitals in general, I hate chains, I hate being sick and having to go through needles and all that stuff I sometimes have to do, and still I'm kind of traumatized from the simplest things that people say. Shit. I hope you didn't see that. This is an unedited video. But people would say, hey, why are you so scared? I'm like, hey, listen, I haven't had actual surgery before, but like needles alone, or taking your blood, or having half anesthesia, but half of a dose, to be like asleep or gone, but you're not fully, yeah. So I had done that so far and stuff, and had to have tubes in my stomach and stuff to see if there's nothing wrong there, but I'm just really scared. And that doesn't make me not trans, it just makes me like, that's the thing, mental disorders are never fun. Being physically ill is never fun. People don't ask for this. If you ask for this and you think that it's all fun and easy and stuff, I don't think you really have a disorder, unless you have that really special attention disorder, or like disorders that make you have a disorder for a disorder. I don't know what the fuck that is, but being transgender is a disorder, and that has to be fixed with hormones and surgery and whatever you need on how far your disorder goes. Which comes from gender dysphoria, and gender dysphoria means you're not feeling good in your biological sex. So, and that causes you to get depressed as soon as you get reminded of it. So that's anxiety, depression, everything that goes with it. Maybe rooted deeply within you. You might notice it like years upon years later, or you notice it quite early or very early. It depends, just like the same as depression. Sometimes you're so stuck in a mindset that you're not aware of anything until people point it out at you that there's something wrong, and then you be like, after a few times of thinking, yeah, maybe I should reconsider something, and you start to find ways to experiment with, hey, what does this work? Does this medicine work? Is this doctor right for me? Is it psychiatrist good? Do I have to pay for it? Can I just sort of, I don't know. Same with being transgender. I mean, you try binders on, you try packers on, just try everything to just figure out what's going on with you. And once you do that, and you're sure that it's not right, it's just not right. And because it's already kind of known by science all over the world, people should stop thinking that being trans is a choice. It is not. It is suffering, and we don't choose to suffer. Therefore, it is a real thing that shouldn't be laughed at or neglected, especially not neglected, because even people that are just asking for attention, what if I actually am asking for attention and I don't really realize? Because trust me, I really am a confusing person, and what if it is a psychosis? Like I said, I don't know. But like, for example, take me that it isn't real and I just really felt out of place for a moment because of something. Then that doesn't mean that I should be hated, if as long as I don't cause problems and saying everybody is stupid and stuff and I'm better than everybody else. No, if I just say that I'm trans and a guy and then later say, wait, actually I'm not, you shouldn't hate on that. It's just this person is experimenting and trying to find out where he feels at home with. And for me, I kind of already gone so far to figure everything out, bit by bit, getting a lot more logical about things, knowing that some things are possible, some things aren't possible. And I already had, like, what was I gonna say again? I have experimented already with my gender base. Obviously, I already wear a binder. I never tried package before, but I already kind of envisioned that I would have had a bulge in my head and stuff. And that's all also experimenting with personally, or just like looking at the toilet and see yourself standing there or whatever. Just basic things like that, simple things. And I've done that for years, and I tried years upon years. I mean, I still draw, but before I didn't go to the gym. Now I started to go to the gym. Now I watch a lot more music, a lot more movies, different kind of movies. I read books sometimes whenever I'm in the mood and don't have internet. I eat different types of food, drinks, try to wear different types of clothes. I've done that all slowly throughout my years of depression and suffering, because I always am panicky, I always have anxiety, I always have anger issues, and I'm honest, I don't know what else outside of being transgender is really going on with me, but I should be actually taking medicine for that to maybe see if that calms me down. But like I said, sometimes being transgender causes other disorders, so it's really not, you're not able to be sure that every transgender is healthy in his mind, because he isn't, or she isn't. This person is suffering just throughout their life, and you gotta just try to listen to them. And even if it's a bad idea, you gotta help them alleviate their problems, because addictions exist, like fights exist, like those things that you kill each other off or something. I mean, people do so many crazy things to feel better, and even if you had laws and rules about it, people would do whatever they want anyway. So you can't prevent people from not doing whatever they feel like is best for them, even though they turn out into criminals. I don't know. You can't just know who is good, who is bad. So for people that are transgender, you just gotta talk to them, try to figure them out as much as you can. And as a doctor, I sometimes understand They just do their job. They can be a therapist and say, hey, are you sure? And sure, really, maybe you are really trans, maybe you aren't. No, if they get the paper that says you're trans by a therapist, that may be good or not, that's your choice. I mean, whatever your goals are, of course. Like I said, they could be good ideas or bad ideas. Like bad ideas as in you're not transgender, you're just asking for attention or something. Because that exists. People that go that far to do stuff that I think is like, okay. But the doctor just does his thing to you, like on you, like surgeries and stuff, whatever you have signed for, and that's not their fault. It's not your fault either, maybe, but it's just how it is. And people like me, you can't hate on them eventually. You can't just forever hate this person. I can't forever hate you for making dumb fucking choices. I gotta figure it out myself, because I still need to do gender therapy. I'm on this very long waiting list for a good year. Now it's a little bit less, but like still too much. And I still need to do the first sessions of talking. So that's scary, because sometimes I say things that aren't what I was meant to say. Sometimes I'm really confusing, and sometimes I speak Chinese in a way. Like, these things can ruin my transition. And because of that also, it makes me think that I'm not trans enough. But again, you need this to be sure that there are real transgenders out there that can surpass these questions and stick to their goals and are sure that they prove that they have dysphoria, for instance. Because yes, you need dysphoria to be trans. I need to cough. My throat is really annoying these days. No, you really need to prove that you're trans or not. Otherwise, I think personally you aren't transgender. If you feel good at your body and just like to be masculine or androgynous or something physically, you just gotta ask yourself the question, do I want to look androgynous as a gender I already have? Or do I like physically and mentally together? Or do I want to look androgynous as in the opposite gender? And if you want to do it as the opposite gender and be feminine as like a guy as the opposite gender, then you're transgender. But if you want to do it like you say you're a guy and you like your chest and you like your downstairs, but you like to wear masculine clothes and you like to have a lower voice, that doesn't make you trans. Because if you just like to have a lower voice but don't mind having a high voice and you just live with that, then you're just non-binary, I guess. I mean, or just experimental or queer. And a lot of queer people, unfortunately, are people that attract the wrong attention. I got a twitch in my eyes. Fuck! My throat is hurting. I wish it were for that male puberty, but I don't have that. Because I'm gonna discuss like about what dysphoria I kinda have, and why that makes me transgender and not just dysmorphic. Because you have body dysmorphia and dysphoria. You also have body euphoria, gender euphoria, for instance. Fuck. Alright, okay, so body dysmorphia is when you just don't like the parts of your body. It gives you a little bit of a psychosis in a way that you think that your body is like you're super fat, but actually your scientific bulimia. Oh fuck, stop! Your scientific but BMI is like the average. I don't know what I don't know, 21 or something. I don't know what it in English. Like, you're a healthy guy and you weigh 60 kilograms. Maybe that's a little bit too less. I don't know. Like a full grown man. Typical man. You're not fat. That's dysmorphia. You think that you are. Dysphoria is that you really think that your chest is visible and your voice is feminine, and even though it sometimes is that much, just really don't like what you have. As in, it all especially with gender roles, that's social dysphoria. You just get this more dysphoric about your voice and about your looks. Like, oh, I don't look male enough, I should cut my hair short, and oh fuck, my hands are too soft. Because biologically, a man can be soft as well. He can have a little bit larger chest, he can have a little bit of slight smaller penis, I don't know. But he can even have none because an accident happened when doing birth, and he has to have like an artificial one. It all is possible, but still, because we're in the wrong body, we really, really, and especially because of like society, really are getting dysphoria, and it's just not to be avoided. It can be avoided. If the social like dysphoria wasn't there, it was just purely physical. It was like, oh, I just need a penis. I want to get off with my penis. I just want to fuck a girl like with my penis, or a guy with my penis. Oh, look, I have boobs. I can play with them, but listen, I don't need that because what the fuck, like those things. Sort of. I can't explain. Just know what a male is for and a female is for in this world, in this nature. Like, you have plants that are both, but that's a different thing. So, my throat is really fucking annoying. It's like it's dry. And I open my window, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, for me personally, my dysphoria is mainly, honestly, social. Because if I'm at home, I generally very uncomfortable. I don't like to dress myself because I always think people are watching me. I don't like to dress in public anyway. I just don't like my menstrual shit to be seen in any way or form, not even close. I don't like, how do you say it? I just, whenever I'm at home, it's just okay because I know nobody's actually gonna watch me, although I still feel discomfort generally because I just think I have no privacy. Think like now I'm filming and I already think people are spying on me and have hacked my computer for some reason. So, but that's social dysphoria alone, honestly, also to me doesn't make you transgender because you only are basing yourself on gender roles and you forget that there are guys that can be feminine and stereotypically gay, you know, like feminine guys, like twinks. Fuck. You know what I mean, guys that paint their nails and stuff. But to make sure that you are trans, you gotta realize that you're not, like, imagine yourself waking up as a guy suddenly. And you had the option to wear a dress for fun and makeup. Why wouldn't that make you too dysphoric? Because knowing, like, you wake up as a guy and you never wear white that you're trans, but you just wake up as a guy and like, hey, it could be mentally, but if, like, to make, like, if the social dysphoria, to make it be gone, there's actually one, oh fuck, I don't know what this is. Actually, it's one in hand. It's like tied to each other. So, like, you wake up as a guy, fully as a guy, healthy as shit. You wear dresses. People would always just perceive you as a guy. Your voice, your leg hair, for some reason, your thick muscles, your rough skin, your fucking Adam's apple, everything that adds up to enough male parts that most females actually don't have that much. You have manly females, but I don't think they have that large of an Adam's apple and that low of a voice. I think that's really kind of a little bit obvious. Sorry for the trans females out there that really get dysphoric from this, because I think like, oh fuck, now people are gonna look at a female to see if they're after like a man. No, that's not what I mean. But to us, it's like if we do it as a guy, we still are seen as a guy, no matter how much we dress. We're gonna see as a, like, what do you call those? Drag queens. But that's just performance, that's just looks, that's just style and stuff. Same as a tomboy girl that is happy to be a girl, just the gender she is and wants to perceive as. But she doesn't mind to dress like boyish, because she's still as red as a girl. I've seen a lot of tomboys, and you just generally know how she is physically and the acting, whatever. Just overall, there are so many aspects that tell that she's a female. No matter if society is like, I mean, if you have that special pheromone like tracer or something to see, oh, that's female pheromones or whatever, I mean, you generally are gonna look at appearance, so that means passing. And but if you are like, you're a guy but you're in a female body and you do all this female stuff, sorry, you're not gonna pass. That's just really societal and just general biological, because your body is female and your identity says female still, because you're pretty and all that stuff, for example. So if you're happy with that but you still think you're a guy, you're not transgender. That's what I'm trying to say, actually. Just fuck. If you're not happy with that, you are, because society exists, forced to be a little bit more stereotypical. Doesn't mean you have to be misogynist and say, hey, every woman is a fucker and a whore. No, that's not how it works, because you still gotta remind yourself the place you were before you start transitioning. I mean, a guy can also be used as a whore, and a guy can also be a whore, a man whore. So listen, that really you gotta keep in mind. So to me, I'm pretty open and flexible if it comes to me being happy, and whenever I'm in my good mood, I can take kinda a lot in my life. But right now, I would be stereotypically dressing and looking as a guy because I know I have to pass. That makes me transgender, because I want to be perceived as a guy so much that I force myself out of my gender that I am assigned as to be the opposite gender. In some way, I wear like a binder. Non-binary people do that, but they just do it for fun and just to experiment alone. But a really trans person does it to experiment and see if that helps and makes them be perceived the way they should be. Once their chest is gone, they don't need to wear the binder. Because if they wear a dress, it's just literally a flat stick, and it's like hairy and stuff usually, or pimply or rough. In some way, you just see that. I'm sorry, just see that. Even you're either a very muscular woman that goes to the gym twice as much as the guy, because yes, men grow a lot more muscles because it's thicker in volume. Because like I said, biologically, male are stronger to protect the female and there's kids and the children and stuff, because that's how we are made for. So you just that's really the thing. I look very, very soft. I look very feminine because I don't have a lot of veins. Nothing shows or indicates that I'm ready to protect my spouse. You know, I can pretend that I am and try act as strong as possible, but when it comes to it, and I walk on the streets at night or go to the boys' toilet and I just am like this with my voice and stuff that doesn't show any type of dominance or nothing male, I might get raped. And that really sucks. But that's, like I said, dysphoria that is both body dysphoria in my case and social. Because before society, people killed each other and raped each other also. It was more animal-like, because, like, you know, there were not that much freedom rules and there was not human rights at all. Everything was just like dinosaurs trying to survive. So I think that is, at least. But humans are, like I said, not crazy animals, but you have to remind yourself we are still part of nature. We still are, for those people who are religious, I'm sorry, but we are developed from a common ancestor for that monkeys share with us and other animals. So like us being sexual fuckers, that isn't new. Us being aggressive and wanting to be dominant, that isn't new. That's just our nature, and that is formed in a mental fuck up, because we can think like very crazy amounts of a lot more than some animals do, because also, like crows can think and never forget your face, but I don't think that there's just, you know what I'm trying to say. I hope this video is gonna be hella long, but so we have body and social dysphoria, as in I think I really don't have male aspects physically. I can show in any way or form, except of forcing myself in the gender roles to be a male. Instead of pretending that I really am a guy, like pretending, because you're not looking as a guy, and yeah, you gotta like make people believe you're a guy. That's lying, actually, but it's lying to make yourself feel safe for the time being. It's a mechanism that we use, lying, you know. Every person lies every single day. at least 5-10 times. I don't know how much it was, but it was quite some. Wouldn't that be like telling your parents that you have to be a little bit longer at school, but you're actually hanging out with your friends drinking beer or something, like I sometimes do? But not with telling my parents, but like, I don't know. So that really is for me that difference that differentiates me from, I hope at least, from fake transgenders. Because if we can differentiate social problems as in biological problems, like as in society versus science, or just if we can look at all aspects, be critical about it, skeptical about it, and find the answers as much as we can, go as far to find the answers, etc. We really do something. We really prove that we are doing our research, and if we after all come to a conclusion, and we really find that conclusion, like that, like makes us euphoric. Fuck my throat. I know why it is. It's fucking really annoying. But what am I going to say? I have something in my mouth. It's really fucking. Okay. I'm not gonna do much, but like I said, if I can do that and think some type in a way rationally, have a balance, I think, then I think I'm not really fake. But there are people out there that say that, how do I relive these videos of these people? They are known as transgenders, like we actually gave it a term. And we are known as Truskam. Just look it up. Like for example, there is this. I have to give this person pronouns. Like there's this female person, and she comes on YouTube and says that she is transgender. Let's say she wears all glasses, all normal, maybe a pink shirt, all okay, but like rainbow hair, a lot of makeup, and her chest is showing. And she says, I'm a trans man, and my pronouns are they, and I don't mind she because I'm feminine. Does that sound right? No. If you're a guy and feminine, you don't want them to call you she unless it's like for the memes or for the laughs or for being like, she's there at home, right? Yo, like, I don't know what to call. Like, do you have these American, like Afro-American people and stuff, and sometimes you have these homosexual, like stereotypically, like people are just, or like very open people that call themselves she, but that doesn't mean that they call themselves she as in I'm a female. They just say she as in she not lying no more, something like that. They just, you have seen it before. If you come on YouTube, like people that joke around and stuff. Mm. But I mean, this person on YouTube says, we call her glasses because she wears glasses and stuff. Rainbow hair. And she says, I don't mind being called she and my passport being female. And I would like to be perceived as a female. And that means that she doesn't mind the gender roles. But she's trans. Better than mine. She likes to be having boobs and perceived as a person with boobs for sexual reasons or childbearing reasons, just generally. And then she says, I want to take hormones and probably start off on a very light dose because I don't want changes to be drastic. I know somebody on YouTube that was quite scared of taking hormones, then he stopped for a while and he got back on it. But he explained exactly what he went through, and it still makes him transgender because he really felt dysphoric. And he explained the dysphoria and the fear that everybody has. But this person said, because I don't want to change so much, I want to still look quite androgynous, quite female. Somebody who is FTM trans, like female to male trans, was to pass as a male because he's physically not a male yet. Or with hormones starting to become. Somebody's here is trying to look male and be male as much as he can. That means he wants to pass again. And if you say you want to look androgynous and you don't mind being a female, then you're just an androgynous female. Because androgyny isn't a gender. That's what a lot of these trenders think that it is. Being androgynous is a style. These androgynous people are females with more male characteristics and they embrace it, but that doesn't mean they say that they are man exactly. They could be just masculine, for instance, also. But androgyny is more of a style. It's like in the fashion world. You rock it or you don't rock it. And listen, I had a lot of problems with these terms as well, but as soon as I did my research, I kind of got to my answers. So these are two mistakes this person already made that didn't indicate that he is trans. Third thing is that this person, and this was an actual video. These are these are the things that they say that are common in any transgender video. They all are social justice warriors, SJWs, non-binary and queer, and they embrace their bodies. So like now, the third issue is like this person says, I'm on hormones and I think I want to be androgynous or more neutral. I actually also thought that myself. Until I finally woke up and said, wait, if I take hormones and keep taking them, I'm not gonna just look androgynous, I'm gonna look male because it's male hormones. And it's true. And then I said, wait, do I want to look like just a man? I still want to look at myself, but it's gonna be as a man. And I start rationalize it and say yes, so I'm not non-binary. But like this person says, because that's what I mean, like, but I don't think I have gender dysphoria. I just think I am really body positive, but I would really like to be a lot more neutral. Like she or he is justifying the other opinion that he had of the fact that he doesn't mind looking more female and pretty or not pretty, like hormones and stuff. And I'm sitting there like, if you don't have any form of gender dysphoria, then why do you transition? Because if cisgendered people transition, you're gonna have dysphoria. Not have dysphoria, because if you have dysphoria as a cisgender person, you're trans. That's really how it is. And this person then says, like glasses here says, because everybody should love himself and be special, and I mean just experiment and do things they love. And I'm like, I totally kind of agree on having freedom and stuff, but when you rationalize it and just go, oh, and now I want to have elephant snout, and next day I want to have a giraffe ears, and you cannot just do that, especially not medically. There are actual transgenders fighting on the waiting list to just have the stuff they need, or a lot of other ill people, and you're like this one fucker that is just experimenting, doing all these serious things and not even sure of wanting to do them because it's like temporary. I mean, people like you, if you are on the waiting list and you are this person that embraces their original gender, like physically and mentally, but especially physically, but you say you're trans, you're not trans, and I want you to go off the waiting list of the transgender, like of getting hormones and stuff, and let real transgender people that really suffer get their chance. Because of you people, there's so much pressure dealt on us. Because people like you, like people think they're social justice, like can say, oh, we defend transgenders by doing this. If you're an activist, you don't need to transition. You know, because a lot of people think they're special doing these transgender stuff. I don't think that's not the solution. You can be special as a cisgender person. I don't know what happened that caused us to do all of this stuff, toxic stuff, but like I said, people do a lot of stupid shit to relieve themselves from the problems that they feel. And I also feel unheard and stuff, but if I just do it purely, like transitioning purely to get attention, I don't think that's gonna be the way to transition. And I already get hated for my behavior and stuff, and I embrace myself more and more, knowing that my personality won't just change. And if I really have to take other forms of medication in the future after my transition, fine, but I first want to see if this transition helps me, and I know it kind of will, because this will be the next thing. If I get gender euphoric on thinking I'm a guy, then I really have dysphoria. So gender euphoria is like euphoria. Euphoria means you get really happy and satisfied for a moment. It's like waves. Your days are also in waves. So let's say you're just trans. Okay, you're really trans, and you're a female and born in a guy's body. Because I always go to the FTM part, because that's what I relate to. There are enough FTF transgenders out there as well. But let's say you're a female in the wrong body, a guy in the wrong body. Female, like apparently you can't just say female or male to a person, because that means you're speaking up to an animal. I'm sorry, I just don't know, like a woman and a man. Okay, you're a man in the wrong body, and you go on the street and these people actually call you he, and you get somehow really satisfied and happy and confident. That's euphoria. That means you have to be dysphoric in some way. That means you really get perceived as a guy, and that's really socially that's socially. Now take physically, because I had it physically as well. I really had moments that whenever I like go to the art academy, I talk to a few friends of mine there and kind of waste their time. We should all be drawing because it's like free and you can walk around and stuff, because the teacher isn't like, hey, you gotta sit down and just draw. No, it's free academy, not too expensive. And I talked to my friends and I said, hey, I go to the gym and I think I'm really insecure and I think my body is too feminine, and I just, because I perceive it like that. And I go up to a friend and she says, hey, my boyfriend also has these broad shoulders and he also has that shape, and you get somewhat happy. That's physical euphoria. So if I have days that I think my voice is quite low, just mentally I think between my ears, oh, my voice is quite low, I get euphoric because I hear my voice, and that makes me not pass. Oftentimes, otherwise I gotta pass unless my chubby face is in the way. At some perspectives, I really look feminine, and I kind of hate it. That's why I always do this, because your shawl is showing, like. But yeah, so if you have euphoria about being called the opposite of what you are biologically are, no matter if it's about sexual characteristics or just plain genitals or muscle shapes or your gender roles, and you are happy as that, you are transgender. Because maybe you aren't fully transgender, you may be just queer, that could be possible, but if you really keep these thoughts and they get kind of heavy on you eventually, like a real depression does and a real mental disorder does, because it comes back in waves and sometimes a lot worse than other times, you are transgender probably, and you gotta, or at least talk to a doctor and maybe see, hey, is this real? You always can do that, because if you really feel like you don't feel somewhere you belong, always talk to a therapist. That's the start of everything. To me it's really difficult because I hate that. But if you really are happy and with whatever you already have, physically I mean, and mentally, not as in everything else in your situation, like having Barbie dolls or a more feminine drinks, like a pink bottle of I mean, actually, like physically and socially, like if you don't have that feeling that you are enjoy being just perceived as the man every day, then you're not transgender. You're not, maybe you are queer, but maybe you are not queer at all either. You're just confused. Maybe yes, you can be queer, but you do that consciously, or you are just confused. Being queer is a person that really is trying to experiment and figure out what he wants or she wants to end in. And if you're confused, you just do whatever weird shit, you don't know what it is, how it is, what it does, and makes you even more, ask you even more questions. It makes you ask even more questions. And I think that's really the thing you guys gotta realize if you haven't known this before, because I didn't either until I did my research. The more I research, the more I identify knowing that I'm trans. It makes me really relieved to know that I already am a special snowflake, because if I revise my life, I always had been different, no matter if I was aware that I'm trans or not, because I am only recently aware, honestly, about the whole ordeal of dysphoria and stuff. So yeah, my actual god fucking dang it. I guess that's it. I just know that I want to try a transition further, see where that gets me. I know that I'm especially dysphoric or dysmorphic, just really insecure in general, that I am getting touched by the people, especially by people that I know for some reason, because they know me, so they perceive me in certain ways a lot more. And they also judge you a lot more than strangers do, honestly, which is really, really sad to hear, but it's true. So sometimes I prefer being misgendered by a stranger than by a close friend, because that's really how it is. My parents, I don't blame them, they don't know this yet. I'm gonna wait until I actually start taking hormones and stuff, because what if I really am confused? Really, you don't know. But so far, I don't, whatever, the things I now say don't make me confused. Because if I talk about biological reasons and why men are still men and females, women is women, yeah. Then I think that's really obvious to know that it's not just crying for attention like many people think of me, like people that know me, of course. And that, yeah, they make me more dysphoric as well. But I already thought about name changes, and I already tried to embrace my old name, and I will never hate my old name, because being transgender doesn't mean you have to hate yourself. That's really not about it. It's about just not feeling right in the place in your body, with your with the gender association you have or are used to living in, because you get used to it eventually, even though you hate it. Because if you misgender yourself and you're transitioning, I mean, I did that. I do it a lot sometimes. Sometimes I have to, because otherwise I come off as really confusing to people. And crazy in the head, because that's what people usually think about mental disorders. You're really coconut crazy and you want to jump out a window. And I come off as that as such. So, oops on that. But still, it's not that I want to misgender myself. Sometimes I have days that I kind of a little bit regret my choices and say, am I really trans? But then I walk outside. Once I'm outside and walk in the world, it starts to hit me. It's like, if you're asleep, goes in your bed, of course you're not gonna worry too much, because that depends on how you live. But if you're a person and you go to bed and all your worries start to suddenly fade away, and this is how it is, no matter what you suffer from, like in my case, then you're not. That doesn't mean you're not valuable, like you're valued. You have your own ways that you have your own life. So some things trigger people a lot more than other people. Some things people do to do that or have that, when other people do the other things. So for me, being at home alone for a moment makes me actually think. Like making videos or drawing or just being alone makes me actually rationally think. I talk to myself and I just internalize what I feel, or try to get my feelings in place. And I think I'm pretty sure that it's going the way it's supposed to go. I think making me now finally doing my research on, like, for example, just being transgender, makes me a lot more rational about other problems in the world, because I start to figure it out generally. And I know if it's because I'm getting older, or I'm tired of drama because I created so much of it and just want to go forward. I don't know. Still happens. Fuck shit still happens. But I think it's better. I mean, yeah. I think this was my video. And I hope you liked it, I guess, or watched it through. I don't know, man. Well, that's it, I guess. I did my whole explaining on dysphoria, what being transgender means, and because a lot of people just really misperceive us or perceive us wrong. And I know, even though I don't have to explain myself, I sometimes just ignore the bullshit. I know I will be asked questions, but just know that if bullshit doesn't strike me, at least my intentions are that I just want to do my stuff, make videos, and not just function around being transgender, because I still have a life, and that's the special snowflake syndrome sometimes, that you really seek for something you really want to strive in and be better and amazing at and draw attention from. And like, I just want to survive right now, and if you ever happen to see me do that, like I actually say right now, and I just transition, and you start to see changes and you start asking questions, I might start to have a few videos about Q&As and stuff if I ever get there. And if not, then some people will only see me as a guy and not as this person anymore, because maybe this will be the only video about being trans, and other people will just watch me as a guy from the future on. Fluid, just nothing confusing at all anymore. So we'll see, I guess, what life brings. Oh, and this will be uploaded on January, so this is my New Year's resolution. That was also what I was planning on saying. Because in a way, if you have like 6 months of full dysphoria, and after your full awakening of being transgender, and you start to actually work towards your transition as much as you can right now, like 6 months, like half a year, you get verified a lot more when you come into the therapist's room and say, because 6 months from now on, that might be just the time enough that I can change my name, start a transition slowly, and it will all fall in place. So I hope that will be the case, and otherwise I don't know whatever I did with my life. So yeah, thanks so much.